The Reproductive Health Data Privacy Act would have protected your sensitive data if you use things like period tracker apps or smartwatches from tech companies selling your reproductive health data, anything that would indicate your reproductive health status. I say would have because this legislation, which was my bill that passed out of the Senate, died in the State House, along with 247 Senate bills that did not make it when the State House collapsed at the end of the term. Now let's go back to how a bill becomes a law. This is the old schoolhouse rock, but a lot of people really don't know, so let's talk about it. Legislation can be introduced in one chamber or the other. Sometimes legislation is introduced in both chambers. Then it has to go through the other chamber and pass before it gets to the governor's desk. So a Senate bill has to go through the House. A House bill has to go through the Senate. If there are any changes made along the way, the bill has to go back to the other chamber to concur in with those changes. So because the House failed to get a quorum in the final days of lame duck, even though my legislation passed out of the Senate, because it did not pass out of the House, the legislation is sadly dead. The legislation had passed along party lines in the Senate with all of the Republicans voting no. So unfortunately, I don't believe this legislation has a chance to be brought back to life and pass in divided government now that Republicans take over the State House. However, Rosemary Bayer had passed legislation that was a more comprehensive data privacy bill, package of bills that may have a chance.